Directors of the Board of Bank of Industry, the investee of today and his wife, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I was informed now, I was asked by the investee if I had my speech ready, and I expressed surprise because I thought I was just invited here to come and watch the event and to eat the food. I must confess that this is the first time, because obviously the keynote speaker is not here. So obviously I'm being called in to fill in the time while we await his arrival. But I must say it does give me some pleasure to stand before you all and to speak, more so on such an occasion as this, where a friend and a brother, Mr. Olukayode Pitan, is being conferred with this prestigious honor. And what gives me great pleasure as well is the presence of my predecessor in office, Pastor Nalama. It's a pleasure to see you again today. It's been a while. He commended me when he came. He said, "You're working too hard." And I said, "Well, I'm only trying to follow in your footsteps," because he did such a good job while he was in office, and I'm only trying to live up to what he has done, such that by the time I leave, people will commend me as well. Mr. Kayode Pitan is an old friend of mine. He's someone I've known for quite a while, and he's somebody for whom I have a lot of respect. Before my current assignment, we were involved in one or two transactions in the past, and he completed those assignments admirably, and for which I am personally grateful, because there were things that I personally benefited from. As Managing Director of BOI, as you all know, is an institution under the supervision of my ministry, Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. And I sometimes feel sorry for Mr. Kayode Pitan, because the job he's doing there is not an easy one. And you know, the way our country is, everybody just sees the glamour. They don't see what is underneath. But from working with him, I see what he goes through. And I must say, Nigeria is very lucky to have somebody like him at the helm of affairs of the Bank of Industry today. He has done a very, very wonderful job to take the bank to where it is today, such that that bank is one of the few institutions in Nigeria today that can raise the kinds of money that they are able to raise. He must be commended for that. So I thank the Corporate Institute of Stockbrokers, Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, for your foresight in giving him this award. I believe he is in very good company with those, with his, what do you call them, coursemates? Or what would you call them? You know, former heads of states and billionaires. So, Mr. Kayode Pitan, I use this opportunity to congratulate you most sincerely. I congratulate your wife for her patience to bear with you, for all the time you take, and for not being with her where you should be, because you are taking care of the bank. I thank very much the chairman and the board of directors of BOI for the support they give you in the job you're doing, because without that support, it wouldn't be easy for you. So I thank you all very much. And one thing I will tell people is that as minister, you, when things go well, you get all the applause, you get all the credit for it. I would like to assure you that as Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, I accept and I take all the credit for all the good work that is being done by the Bank of Industry. Kayode, I congratulate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, it is my, I'd like to let you know that when it was said that you were working hard, and you said that you were trying to follow the footsteps of the person telling you that you were working hard, indeed you are a hard worker, because you tried to see what we were doing by saying that you should replace the person that was supposed to speak. But really, you were not a replacement, because you were to come right after him. So indeed, that you didn't see it coming, and yet you have done a great delivery of the task that you have been given. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Because one thing is certain, a hard worker is indeed never caught by surprise. So we celebrate your hard work. Another round of applause for him, please. Another round of applause for him. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, at this point we are going to get into the core of any investiture proceeding. And this has been a culture over the years, and this has been something that has helped the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers to entrench its values and hold its place in the present and in the future of exchanges and markets in the Nigerian space. And ladies and gentlemen, for the brief investiture briefings, rather, it is my pleasure to welcome the first Vice President of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. Okay, again, information has been updated, and so order has to be rearranged. Before we take the next thing that we have to, based on the arrival of our speaker, I would like to duly recognize the outgoing registrar and chief executive of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, Mr. Adedeji Ajadi, FCS. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. Not just behind the scenes, but hands on deck as well. We appreciate you. We also have a member, CIS Governing Council, Mr. Oladipo Adeniro, FCS. Please, let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. Thank you very much. And we have the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Nigeria, Dr. Lamido Yuguda. He is ably represented in this gathering by the Director, Lagos Zonal Office of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Nigeria, Stephen A. Falomo. Please, where are you? Let him rise on his feet. Let him rise on his feet. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. As has been said, we will now take the address from the guest speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank God that Lagos did him a Lagos number, but I think we are all glad to have him here with us finally. Please welcome the chairman, Secure ID Limited, Mr. Adedoto Sulaiman.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. First of all, my apologies for coming late. This is not my usual style, for those who know me. And I was actually torn between coming or not coming, believe it or not, because I had a medical situation. If you notice, I came in wearing dark glasses. I'm also not given to wearing dark glasses indoors, but I have some eye issues. and I had to see a doctor this afternoon to confirm whether I can still do it or not do it. And my case was made even more scary when I got a call from my daughter that, oh, she's lost all sense of taste and smell. I said, well, what's going on? Because we are both fully vaccinated. It was a case of, can I, should I, should I not? But in any event, here I am. I was assured by the doctor that you are all safe. So I was more worried about you than about myself. But I just want to be sure. If I actually put somebody on standby, if at the last minute I was told I couldn't make this address. So, but I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm here for Mr. Kayode Pitan. I don't know the protocols that have been established before I got here, but I would just say, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to this event. I have a very short address. I will also speak on the topic of industrialization of the Nigerian economy via the capital market. So, like I said, welcome to this special investiture session that is hosted by the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers in honor of Mr. Kayode Pitan. Kayode Pitan and I go way, way back. Started from his days at Arthur Anderson, the old Arthur Anderson firm many, many years ago. So that's where he got his teeth, and that's where our relationship began. So it's my distinct pleasure and honor to be here to engage with you, captains of industry, and key stakeholders in the financial services sector as we collaborate to steer this ship called the Nigerian state and the Nigerian financial market through what some might call turbulent waters. The topic, the internationalization of the Nigerian economy via the capital market, is quite relevant today, given the need to further the existing discourse on ways to stimulate economic development. There's general consensus that the development of an efficient capital market can stimulate the growth of any given economy. In fact, recent research shows that countries with robust and vibrant capital markets experience high economic growth than those that don't have it. Furthermore, while most capital markets in African countries are relatively underdeveloped, those countries which introduce reforms geared towards the development of capital markets have recorded relatively higher and more sustainable growth than their counterparts. And I would say the reforms that we have undertaken in this market in the last, I would say 10, 15 years attest to this particular fact. A well-developed capital market creates sustainable low-cost distribution channel for multiple financial products and services across the country. Capital markets enhance efficient financial intermediation. It increases mobilization of savings and therefore improves efficiency and volume of investment. Volume of investment and so on. It increases efficiency and volume of economic growth and development. So how can we improve the Nigerian capital market? I think that is the question. The 2020 ABSA Africa Markets Index ranks South Africa as the most developed financial market in Africa. Unsurprisingly, I suppose, followed closely by Mauritius. Then Nigeria is in the third place. The index assessed 23 countries based on 6 pillars: market depth, access to foreign exchange, market transparency, tax and regulatory environment, capacity of local investors, macroeconomic opportunity, enforceability of financial contracts and collateral positions, and insolvency frameworks. This implies that the stakeholders to the resulting development cuts across everyone, both the private as well as the public sector, most of whom I believe are well represented in this room this evening. Interestingly, out of the 6 criteria mentioned, Nigeria ranks lower on access to foreign exchange. Again, no surprises there. Capacity of local investors and macroeconomic opportunity. Our collective efforts will result in capital inflow for strengthening infrastructure, increasing productivity, creating employment opportunities, transferring new technologies and know-how, developing human capital, improving terms of trade, integrating into global markets, improving competitiveness of domestic industries, and increasing exports. The list is endless. All we need to do is to stimulate capital flow by attracting foreign direct investment and foreign portfolio investment, thereby creating tailor-made financial products like diaspora bonds, sukuk, infrastructural bonds, project-specific bonds, and equity capital. In Nigeria, between January 2021 and now, companies have been able to raise over 230 billion from the debt market through bonds issuance. For most of the companies, the capital market has not only provided the needed capital, but has also enabled them improve on their corporate governance structures within the organization. The capital market also provides borrowers with lower interest rates, lower interest funds, longer tenure, minimal transaction cost, timely transaction settlement, access to a variety of fund providers, etc. In addition, it allows for capital formation, encourages productive investment, and rational allocation of resources. The Bank of Industry, whose CEO we are honoring this evening, have been partners in progress in the actualization of an industrialized economy in Nigeria. And we should expect that they will continue to take deliberate steps towards addressing issues around funding across all business segments, micro, small, medium, and large enterprises. In the last 3 years, BOI has raised $3 billion through the international markets, all in a bid to bridge the financing gap for industries in Nigeria. From 2015 until now, the bank has disbursed over ₦1 trillion to industries in various sectors of the economy. They have also partnered with state governments, the federal government agencies, multilateral agencies, high net worth individuals, etc., to manage funds aimed at industrializing different segments across the country. Even though the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic resulted in a slowdown of economic and industrial activities, organizations are developing new business models to surpass the challenges and turn out profitable, as can be seen with more companies raising funds through the capital market for the first time. We believe that the various funding initiatives of the capital market will not only revitalize the economy during the pandemic, but will contribute to closing the funding gap and enable industries to thrive beyond the pandemic. Before I'm done, I just want to mention the crucial role which I believe technology will play in the trading of equities, fixed income, and other assets. In fact, if there's one thing to take away from the pandemic, it is the importance of technology and the reality of that statement, adapt or die. Given a younger profile of today's investors, investment decisions will involve global comparisons of risk, returns at the flick of a button, leveraging digital investment platforms. The new generation of investors will compare capital market operators to rethink, reimagine, and re-strategize service delivery platforms and products. So, as we consider the next few years in Nigeria and how we can continue the path of growth following the recent recession, I am tasking everyone here to individually and collectively develop innovative products and services tailored to suit investors' preference for risk and return, as well as borrowers' project needs and risk appetite, in a bid to foster financial inclusion for sustained economic growth. The capital market typically provides patient capital, hence it allows companies to thrive and grow without the usual pressures associated with other markets, particularly commercial bank financing. In conclusion, more industries should be encouraged and given incentives to approach the capital market to raise the funds, not only to start their business, but also to expand them. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two things that I want us to genuinely applaud and celebrate, even as we have just, as we have listened to that beautiful and professional speech from our guest speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, the first that I want us to applaud and celebrate concerning our wonderful guest speaker today, first off, is his resilience. Please celebrate and applaud his resilience. You know, I know that it was the easiest of options for you to have cancelled, for tonight, and nobody would have blamed you. So we celebrate your resilience for coming regardless of the inconvenience. Yes, if you want to give him a round of applause, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And apart from his resilience, you said something that was profound. You said you were more concerned for every one of us, even more than you were concerned for yourself. I mean, appreciate his concern, really. Appreciate his selfless concern for everyone. And then finally, I would like us to appreciate the professionality of that delivery of what he has done. Please give me a round of applause. Give me a round of applause. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. The Institute appreciates you, and your excellence indeed radiates. Thank you. I'd like to recognize a member of the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, Mrs. Nkoli Edoka, FCS. Mrs. Nkoli Edoka, FCS, please, where are you? I'd like you to please rise on your feet so that we can celebrate you appropriately. Thank you. Thank you very much. We also have the Chairman, Board of Fellows, Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, and a past president of the Institute from 2001 to 2003. Please welcome Mr. Olutola Mobolori, FCS. And we also have another past president of the Institute from the year 2010 to 2012. Please welcome Mr. Michael Itegboje, FCS. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have present with us this evening a past president of the Institute, Mr. Dakbo Adekoje, FCS. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we are going into the proceedings to the core of why we are here today. And of course, to give us the investiture brief, it is my pleasure. Okay, I've been told that we will need to take a brief music interlude. We'll need to take a brief music interlude before we go into the main item on our agenda. All right. We would need to have a brief interaction. Please, apologies for my skipping that. Apologies for that. We will need to have a brief check. Check. Okay. Check. Okay. Now we will have a brief interaction in form of comments and question and answers regarding the professional talk given by our guest speaker. So please, in case you're here and you have any question to the speaker, I would like us to please ask these questions. I will be taking the microphone to him where he is seated, and as you raise your hand and indicate that you have your questions, I will come to you and hand over the microphone to you so that he can answer from where he is. Yes. So please, do we have any questions, comments? Any question, comments? questions and comments? Question and comment? Please, okay. Anyone with questions? All right, so we have a question.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Okay. I just want to, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to appreciate Dr. Suleiman for that presentation and the talk that he just delivered. He brings to the fore what we know that is important in our business. That is technology. And re-emphasizing it at this point makes it salient that we all have to go through that route in order to make the best of our business, and also to bring the Nigerian Stock Exchange to its level in the Committee of Stock Exchanges in Africa. And I thank him especially for making our time, despite the challenges that he had this evening, to be with us. Thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Please, we would like to receive other comments or questions. Please just raise your hand so the microphone can be brought to where you are. Thank you very much. Questions and comments, please. Questions and comments? Questions and comments? Questions and comments for Mr. Adedotun Suleiman on the speech and address that he has given to us. Comments, questions, comments, questions. Okay. I believe we have no further comments and questions, and so we would have to move on with the rest of the proceedings. But again, I would like us to appreciate Dr. Suleiman for that beautiful speech and address. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we get into the next item on the agenda, I would like us to appreciate the presence of the Chief Executive Officer of Standard Bank Group, Africa Regions, Mr. Yinka Sonny, FCS. And now we will take the investiture brief, and it is my pleasure to welcome the first Vice President of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, Nigeria, Mr. Olukayode Pitan, FCS. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been told that we have Her Excellency, the wife of the Governor of Edo State. Please, let's give a round of applause for Her Excellency, Mrs. Obaseki. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you very much for joining us. Please, let's give her a worthy round of applause, please. Let's give her an excellent round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma, for joining us this evening.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to stand on the existing protocols that have been established. My job today as the first Vice President of the Untitled Stockbrokers is to give the investiture brief. And the investiture brief, indeed, will be very brief, as much as possible, but to capture the essence of why we are here, because that is the real essence of why we are here today. Today, we are glad that we have the third investiture ceremony in the annals of the Institute holding. And I wish to welcome every one of us to this event once again. The Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers was established by Act 105 of 1992. That act was signed into law by President Ibrahim Babangida. And the Institute is charged with the responsibility of training and certification of securities and investment professionals in Nigeria. So those that practice in the securities and investment market are trained and certified by the Institute. And the Institute has discharged that onerous task by the Act responsibly, and we have a light gathering of over 3,000 investment and securities professionals in the role of the Institute. The Institute has members, its membership cutting across the following segments. The Institute has members as fellows, that is, members that has passed through the examination certification of the Institute. We have fellows, we have the associates following it, then we have graduate members, we have student members, and we have honorary members. And today, we are having another honorary member being added to the role of the Institute. As the President stated in his address, we have 6 persons, distinguished personalities that have contributed immensely to the securities and investments and likely the capital markets of Nigeria that have been conferred with the awards over the past few years. Of the 6, 2 had been invested up to date. And today, we are glad that being added to the number that had been invested earlier on, that is to say, General Yakubu Gowon, for his pioneering acts of bringing forth the indigenization decree that largely expanded the scope of the capital market in Nigeria. He was duly recognized for that. And then we had also Mr. Honorary Pitan being conferred with the Honorary Fellowship of the Institute as the second person. Today, it is our joy that we are holding the third investiture ceremony to confer the Honorary Fellowship of the Institute. And today we shall be having a distinguished Honorary Fellow, HFCS 003, in the person of Mr. Olukayode Pitan, being conferred with the Honorary Fellowship of the Institute. Our investiture of today has clearly demonstrated his business and managerial skills and acumen as an investment banker. Over the years, at least over the past 33 years that he's been practicing the business of investment banking in the banking industry, he has crisscrossed many institutions and he made his mark. Remarkable marks indeed over the years. And in 2017, he came on board the Bank of Industry as the Managing Director, Chief Executive. And we have seen his laudable marks, his remarkable strides, which he has, by virtue of his managerial skills and business acumen, transformed Bank of Industry into. We have seen him bringing in capital into the Bank of Industry. We have seen him, along with his executive management and the board of directors that are here today to support him. I want to thank you for assisting Mr. Pitan and giving him all the support in achieving this landmark for which he's been honored today. We appreciate you, Chairman, and the other members of the board of directors. Our honorary investiture today is done so much, and all of what is done are evident for us to see in assisting to incubate companies that, by the grace of God, will be listed in this market to expand the scope of the Nigerian capital market. As Mr. Sulaiman said in his talk, in his lecture, these companies that are being midwifed, that are being funded with accessible funding at significantly lower rates than what business entrepreneurs will have obtained in commercial banking, they are able to survive. And we are seeing those companies being nurtured and getting bigger and better and being positioned for the Nigerian market. So we thank the Bank of Industry for assisting to incubate and develop enterprises that will still come on board of the market. So we appreciate you today, and we want to say that you have clearly demonstrated that you are worthy of the award, the conferment of the Honorary Fellowship of the Institute. That is why today we are all gathered to honor the man, Mr. Olukayode Pitan, because he has done so well. I just want to go into the scripture and just bring one verse. Just one verse that aptly describes him today. Proverbs 22, verse 29 says, "Seest thou a man that is diligent in his business? He will stand before kings, and he will not stand before mean men." Today, you are standing before kings. Kings as the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, both immediate past and the present. You are standing before past presidents of the Institute that are here, present. You are standing before your board. And indeed, today, we want to say congratulations to you for this honor. It is on this wonderful note, based on this insight, that I want us to appreciate him, even as we move on into this ceremony. And it's on this note that I wish to invite the chairman of the Board of Fellows of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, Mr. Olutola Mobolurin, the second president of the Institute, year 2001 to 2003, coming immediately after the late Gamaliel Onosode as the first president. So, on this note, I want you to join me in welcoming the chairman of the Board of Fellows of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, Mr. Olutola Mobolurin.
Ladies and gentlemen, I had promised that I won't say anything. But when I looked at the table to my left, I decided that I couldn't let the moment pass. Because the decision makers are here, the influencers are here, and the guest speaker had talked about industrialization. Let me just say something that is close to my heart. The unemployment, the youth unemployment that we have the slow growth in the economy cannot be addressed without industrialization. What we have been doing is throwing debt into the market, but it takes more than debt to grow industries. Indeed, I have a feeling that we are increasing the risk in the economy by just throwing out debt and debt and debt at people. We need to also raise risk capital. And in doing that, we must provide funds through savings and channels to put savings in the hands of young men and women that have ideas. Once they have that, we will have de-risked the projects that they are going into for institutions like Nigerian Bank for Commerce. Nigerian Industrial Bank. If I mention Nigerian Bank for Commerce and Industry, that made some of us before the war. But that's also because, both MBCI and NIDB, the precursors to Nigerian Industrial Bank, provided not only loan capital, but also equity capital. Today, we do not have any source of equity capital. Well, we have some. To multiply their notes. We need to provide them more Naira-based sources of funding and venture capital companies. My refrain has always been, let 1,000 flowers bloom. 1,000 flowers cannot bloom when young men with ideas have no source of raising or accessing risk capital except if they go out to look for venture capitalists, private equity funders, whose risk acceptance criteria is based on dollar. And if we have a weak currency, we can see that we can never get the requisite amount of capital that we need from foreign sources. 2, we also need to show to the world that we ourselves funding. I'm not going to talk about how we're going to raise it today, because I'm sure that there are people who are working on a national savings strategy, and I do hope they will have a place for something there. But I know that with, well, they call him Mr. Kayode Pitan, I do not take for granted anybody that has been ordained. So I will call him Pastor Kayode Pitan. Since he's here, I would like to charge him today that part of his mission should also be how to put equity capital into the hands of young men so that loans given by Nigerian Industrial Bank, other banks in the system, Central Bank, Nigerian Bank for Commerce and for Agriculture can be de-risked so that we can do more and more projects and bigger projects as well. On that note, I would like to invite my colleagues on the Board of Fellows to please come onto the podium. I know. Thank you. I thought it was a young girl.
It's me.
Thank you. The president.
So that I can hand him over.
Exactly. Okay. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure having the members of the Board of Fellows of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers here present. The Board of Fellows comprises of past presidents and select distinguished members of the stockbroking community. We have them here at this moment. It is my pleasure at this point to invite the President and Chairman of Council of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers to the podium, the Chairman of the Membership Committee of the Institute, and the Acting Registrar and Chief Executive.
I think you should invite the minister to present the flag.
You are welcome, Mr. President. Okay. At this time, this is the moment we have been waiting for. At this point, we want to invite the investor of today to step up, Mr. Olukayode Pitan, Managing Director, Chief Executive of Bank of Industry, Pastor Olukayode Pitan. Please step up to the podium. Okay. Please stand up there and face every member, the guests that are seated here that have come to honor you. At this point, we want to read the citation of the investee to let us know the full details about his trajectory, about his course of career in the banking industry up to this point that has brought upon this wonderful award, this conferment unto him. At this point, I want to invite a member of the Council of the Institute, Mrs. Lillian Olubi, to step forward and read the citation. Please give her a round of applause and Korea. So, Pastor Pitan, please move forward a bit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the citation. Mr. Olukayode Pitan is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Bank of Industry Limited, a position he has held since May 2017. He draws on significant work experience gained across the financial services sectors, including banking, capital markets, etc. During the course of his 30-year career, and as an astute corporate and investment banker, he was the pioneer managing director of NSEC, which at that time was the flagship specialized banking unit of the FSB International Bank, focusing on the energy sector in Nigeria. He graduated with a BSc honors degree in economics as a UAC scholar from the University of Ibadan in 1982, and obtained a master's degree in international management as a Rotary International Scholar from the American Graduate School of International Management, Thunderbird campus at Glendale, Arizona. He's a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, a fellow of the Institute of Credit Administration of Nigeria, and a member of the Institute of Directors of Nigeria. He has been nominated for the Fellowship Award of the Nigerian Economic Society at the annual conference for 2021. He's an alumnus of the Lagos Business School and the London Business School. He's also an alumnus of the Haggai Institute, Singapore, and the Galilee International Management Institute in Israel. He's an ordained senior pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. Mr. Pitan has participated in many innovative transactions in the Nigerian capital market and the international financial market. He has led the bank to successfully raise about $3 billion from the international market over the last 3 years. He is the chairman of the Association of Nigerian Development Finance Institutions, and he was recently appointed to the board of the Association of African Development Finance Institutions as a director representing West Africa. In addition, he has held several board and executive positions, which include chairman of the technical committee that led the merger of Centerpoint Securities and the very first Ventures Limited to form Unity Registrars Limited, and served as chairman of Unity Registrars Limited. Chairman of the technical committee that merged Capital Insurance, International Assurance Company, and Global Commerce and General Assurance into Unity Capital Insurance, and also served as the director of the new entity. Chairman of the technical committee of the landmark transaction where 9 banks were merged to form Unity Bank and the listing of the bank on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Technical chairman, brokering the formation of FUG Pensions Limited, pulling together the interests of Future View Financial Services, Unity Bank, and Glanville Ethelvin & Co. Limited to form a viable and significant player in the pensions industry, subsequently holding the position of chairman of FUG Pensions. Alternate director of Kakawa Discount House Limited, director of New Devco Investments and Securities, and director of Bank International du Benin. Chairman of BOITC and Lecon Financial Services Limited, which are subsidiaries of BOI Limited. Chairman of Habitation of Hope, an NGO set up by Pastor Mrs. Folu Adeboye to salvage, transform, and empower the abandoned, hopeless, and homeless street boys and girls living in Nigeria. Mr. Pitan began his career with Citibank Nigeria in 1986. Prior to joining BOI Limited, Mr. Pitan was the MD CEO of Caroline Properties Limited and director of Excel E&P Limited. Previously, Mr. Pitan held the position of executive director of Unity Bank PLC, in charge of corporate banking and treasury management, after having served as the MD CEO at First Interstate PLC in August 2004, where he successfully led the bank through a merger with 8 other lending institutions to form Unity Bank PLC. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Olukayode Pitan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Olubi, for that rendition of the citation of Mr. Pastor Olukayode Pitan. At this point, I want to invite the President and Chairman of the Council, the Chairman Board of Fellows, to continue the proceedings.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, Having fulfilled all necessary conditions for the award of fellowship of the Institute, I hereby present Pastor Olukayode Pitan for the conferment of the Honorary Fellowship Award.
Thank you, Chairman, Board of Fellows. By the powers conferred on me by the Governing Council of the Institute and Act 105 of 1992, and upon the recommendation of the Board of Fellows, I hereby confer on you, Pastor Olukayode Pitan, the Honorary Fellowship of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers.
Congratulations, Pastor Olukayode Pitan. At this point, we need to go into the decoration proper. But before we start it, the process, we need to invite some distinguished guests, our special guest of honor, the Honorable Minister of Trade, Industry, Investment, to please step forward to assist in the decoration of our investee, the latest honorary fellow of the Institute. You are welcome, sir, Minister. You will be decorating Pastor Olukayode Pitan with the sash of the Institute.
I will ask that our special guest of honor today, the Honorable Minister, to help in the first decoration of our newest honorary fellow, Pastor Olukayode Pitan, HFCS 003. Mr. Minister. Thank you.
Isn't he looking good? He's looking wonderfully good. It is the next presentation in the decoration will be done by our guest speaker, Mr. Dr. Sulaiman. Is going to assist us, the Institute, in presenting a certificate to the latest honorary fellow.
I hereby ask, with due respect, that you help in presenting the certificates of honorary fellowship to our new honoree, Pastor Olukayode Pitan. Thank you very much, sir.
We'll be continuing with the decorations too. And we have two more items of the investiture to be bestowed upon Pastor Olukayode Pitan. At this point, these two instruments are very prized possessions, and we want his wife, Dr. Mrs. Femi Pitan, to step up onto the podium and watch him being decorated with this. And we want to invite the former Minister of Industry, in the person of Pastor, please move forward, madam. Okay, Chukwu Enelama, to do us the honor of placing the lapel pin of the Institute on its, to place the lapel pin on his suit lapel. You are welcome. Okay. Please move on, sir. You'll be decorating him with the lapel.
Honorable Minister, we will ask that you do the honors of placing the lapel pin on our honorary of today, Pastor Olukayode Pitan. Thank you, sir. This just comes off.
Please give him a round of applause. He's getting better. That is the third one. Now we have the fourth instrument, the fourth and the final instrument, which is the plaque that we will place in a very conspicuous place, either at home or the office. The plaque of the honorary fellow will be presented by the Chairman Board of Fellows, Mr. Olutola Moboloni.
On behalf of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, it is my honor and privilege to present to you this plaque.
Wow. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. It is time to take, wow. Stand up for the winner. Stand up for the champion. Stand up for the champion, for the champion. Stand up for the champion, for the champion. Okay. Thank you very much. It is time for photographs. Please stay on. Okay. We'll wait for the greetings. They will take, just relax. And where is it now? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Are we set? Okay. The MC will take over the proceedings now with the order of the photographs.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please, again, can we give them a round of applause? Let's give them a round of applause. This is the exact reason why we have all gathered here tonight, and it is a great pleasure to witness Pastor Olukayode Pitan being honored in this capacity. The future is indeed bright. Thank you, everyone, for joining him in today's celebration. And right now, we are going straight into the photo sessions. And please, I'd like the celebrant, or the investee in this case, to please remain with his wife on stage throughout the duration of this photo session. And so the first item on the photo session list is the investee with the Board of Fellows of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. The investee will now take his picture with the Board of Fellows of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. So please, our photo team, I would like you to take all the necessary positions, get the best angles. Don't make it flat. Don't make it boring. This is a timeless recognition. This is a timeless moment that we have here with us. It is nice that despite the long-standing track record, all of the people here have still not backed down on their efforts to see the markets improve. Right now, the investee. Okay, the investee, you see, according to what I have on paper, the photo session has not really started according to the order that we have. The investee will take the picture with the Board of Fellows alone. With just the Board of Fellows. Only the Board of Fellows. Only the Board of Fellows. Only the Board of Fellows. Photographers, just follow my lead. Let's make it quick and sharp. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Board of Fellows. Now the investee will take a picture with the principal officers. Principal officers of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. The investee will have his picture with the principal officers of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. Principal officers, so please, yes, the camera crew are in position. Yes, thank you very much, thank you. And now the investee will take a picture. The wife of the president of the institute, please do join us. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've not celebrated her tonight. Let's give her a round of applause. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you. Thank you for your support as well. Okay, okay, all right. So I believe this picture is done. Do you have a request, sir? Oh, yes, we will definitely get that. We'll get that. Okay, now the investee will take his pictures with the Director General of the Security Exchange Commission. Okay. Do we have the CEO of the Nigerian Exchange? Yes, the representative of the Director General of the Security Exchange Commission. Mr. Falomo, we would like you to please come up and join the investee as he takes his picture. Okay, and we would also have Bola Ajomale join the investee in this particular picture. The MD of NESD. Please, we would like you to join in this picture. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now we are going to have the investee with the CIS Council members. CIS Council members in the house, we would like you to please join the investee on stage. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Today is really, really a special day, and I'm going to tell every one of us why as we get to the end of this photo op. I'm going to tell you why. But please first let all the CIS Council members join the investee even as he takes these beautiful pictures. These are the kind of pictures that gets framed at the headquarters of CIS. So it's really, really important. I'd like everyone to please put on a smile. Make sure you smile. Make sure you look good for posterity's sake at least. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. CIS Council members, CIS Council members, CIS Council members, CIS Council members. Thank God nobody's wearing a mask in this. Nobody's wearing a mask in this picture right now, which is very good. So I'm not yet a council member of CIS. I need to step aside. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Now the investee will take his pictures with the special guest of honor, and that is the Honorable Minister. Okay, and now the investee will take his picture with the special guest of honor, the Honorable Minister. Thank you very much once again. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you. And it is said that a man is only as great as the people that surround him. Ladies and gentlemen, to complete this photo op session, I'd like us to welcome the BOI board members to join the investee as he takes his picture with them. Please, board members of the Bank of Industry. Okay, I've been told apologies to board members. Apologies. I've been asked that you should wait a while. But before that, we should call on the former Minister of Trade and Investment, Pastor and Mrs. Okechukwu Enelama, to please come and have their pictures with the investee before we get on to the board members of the Bank of Industry. Please, let's give them a round of applause. Let's give them a round of applause. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, thank you very much. Before we take the board yet again, we are going to have Her Excellency, the wife of the Executive Governor of Edo State. Please let us welcome Mrs. Betsy Baseki as she comes to have a picture with the investee. Please let's give her a round of applause. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, please let's give her a round of applause. Let's give her a round of applause. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you. Thank you very much. At this point, I would like to now welcome the board members of the Bank of Industry. Thank you very much. Please, board members of the Bank of Industry will now have their pictures with the investee. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please let's give them a round of applause. These are the people that make up the super team working around the investee, and that makes his work so excellent and worthy of being associated with. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you Thank you. 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 Thank you very much. Thank you. And last on the list would be, we are going to have the Chief Executive Officer of Standard Bank Group Africa Regions, Mr. Yinka Sonny FCS, to come up and have a picture with the investee. Thank you. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you very much. Please give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. And that is the CEO, Standard Bank Group, Africa Regions, Mr. Yinka Sonny. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can. You can. And finally, we're going to have Alhaji Salisu Buhari come to take a picture with the investee. Alhaji Salisu Buhari, thank you very much. BJ Sachs. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And, okay. On request, we're going to have the chairman of Flour Mills, the chairman of Flour Mills, and Mr. Etuk. The chairman of Flour Mills, John Comanteros, and Mr. Etuk, please come up to have a picture with the investee. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Tayo Amosun, please. Mr. Tayo Amosun, please join them in taking this picture. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Okay, okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would like the investee to remain on the stage. The investee, please remain on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have another session for photo ops. Please bear with us. But we are going to bring this first one to a close now. And this is a bit personal for me to announce, because the good works that you have done so far with the Bank of Industry in favor of the Institute, and because I am under your tutelage one way or the other, though you may not realize it, even in ministry too. You know, a lot of people gathered here are celebrating you for your excellence. But what most people do not know, even though they are gathered here, is today is the day where he is awarded a honorary fellowship of the Institute of Stockbrokers in Nigeria. But today is also his birthday. So I've been quite elaborate about your birthday because today is also my birthday. So I can say thank you all for celebrating with us. But sir, you are not just miles ahead, you are planets ahead. Because I've not even done common entrance for the institute. So look at you. You are a honorary fellow. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a round of applause. 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 So now, every one of us here, remember what I said. You honored the invitation of the institute. You honored the invitation of the Bank of Industry. And because you are here today is the real reason why this gathering is special. So please give yourselves a round of applause again. Give it to yourselves. Give it to yourselves. Give it to yourselves. So now this beautiful cake has been designed to celebrate and honor a wonderful man in the person of Mr. Olukayode Pitan. And now we're going to cut the cake. Is that positioning okay, or should we bring it here? Please, let's move it forward. Let's move it here. Let's move it here. Let's move it here. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that we're going to do to enjoy ourselves this evening, right after this cake is cut, we're going to enjoy the beautiful and entertaining performance from the international, dependable, and bankable BJ Sachs. As we cut the cake, yes, give me a round of applause, please, too. He's been on the standby for a while now. BJ Sachs will be thrilling us with his lungs and, of course, his trumpet as he entertains us, even as we celebrate the wonderful Mr. Olukayode Pitan. And, of course, that celebration will dovetail into dinner, after which we are going to take goodwill messages. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have enjoyed yourselves listening to excellent reports of excellence from the investee and all who have, who are associated and have worked with him. And now we're going to celebrate his birthday even as we go into dinner tonight. So I'd like you to please step forward, sir. Please step forward. Let me see. Let me put us to the work. Let me put us to the work. I'd like every one of us to please rise on our feet. Let's all rise on our feet. Let's all rise on our feet. Let's all rise on our feet. So, I want us to, okay, let me leave the vote on here. But we'll vote. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, by the order of the president of the institute, the choice has been made. You don't need to know the choice until we are already doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, at the count of 3, we take the happy birthday song in celebration of Mr. Olukayode Pitan. 1, 2, go! Happy birthday to you. So he will now cut his cake. Please give me a round of applause. 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 Thank you very much. So at this point, as the celebrant that you truly are, we've seen you deliver speeches. We've seen you deliver sermons. Yes. You see, I can see the way your wife. Yes, you have seen him true. We've seen you deliver speeches, we've seen you deliver sermons, we've seen you deliver excellent results in the industry. But ladies and gentlemen, has any one of you ever seen him deliver a good dance? BJ Sachs, please, you're going to drop something from Mr. Oh, you see, I love the president of the institute. You see what he did? He said, my dear, now dance, come on here. Yeah, he just moved his wife out of the place. But you see, that's why they say marry right. Who stood with him? Because, my dear, if you like dance anyhow, we are here together. So BJ Sachs, please give us something entertaining for the celebrant to dance. He has taken the pictures as he dances. After a while, when I'm satisfied, I'll let him go to his seat while BJ continues to entertain us as we go for dinner. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Olukayode Pitan, this is up to you now. Please keep your eyes on him. Keep your eyes on him. You may not see this a lot. You may not see it a lot. Get it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for dinner. It's time for dinner. Let's just follow the leading of the ushers. They will help us get dinner. And when we return, we'll continue with the rest of the proceedings. Thank you.
say I'm on my way. I will be back for many a day. My heart is down, my ears turning around. I am the little girl in Kingston Town. mo dúpẹ́ o. Mo ṣoríire ẹlẹ́dàá mi mo dúpẹ́. Ṣoríire ẹlẹ́dàá mi mo dúpẹ́. Ẹlẹ́dàá mi mo dúpẹ́. Ọlọ́run àgbáyé. Olúwa.
much, the excellent international bankable BJ Sachs. Thank you very much. That was beautiful. And I think you added an extra flavor to the food. Yeah, sometimes the taste isn't what you're listening to while you're eating whatever it is you are eating. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a super evening so far. Thank you very, very much for doing this with the Institute, with Bank of Industry, and especially with Mr. Olukayode Pitan. I was thinking he would be resting and chilling in his seat, but ladies and gentlemen, he's actively moving around to touch base with everyone, talk about someone who practices actual leadership wherever he finds himself. Please, if you can, let's give him a round of applause again. If you can, please, let's just give him a round of applause again. Let's give him a round of applause again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Because of our time and because we know that as much as we would like to continue to celebrate, we want to keep track of time and also stay on course with our other commitments for the rest of the day. We would like to proceed. I mean, seeing most of us have gotten our meals already, we will now proceed with the rest of the program. Please, I'd like us to pay attention now, even as we receive the few goodwill messages that we have. Let us not forget the executive governor of Edo State, His Excellency Governor Obaseki, would have loved to be here. In fact, I'll need to let us know he was trying to connect and join us virtually, but he's been unable to. So in his stead, we will be receiving the goodwill message, the first goodwill message of the evening from his wife, that is the wife of the executive governor of Edo State, Her Excellency, Mrs. Betsy Obaseki. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Her Excellency a round of applause as she comes to the podium to give the first goodwill message of the evening. Please give her a round of applause, give her a round of applause, give her a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you again. You're welcome, ma.
The Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment, the former Minister of the same ministry, Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment, Dr. Nalama, the President of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, the Chairman, Board of Directors, Bank of Industry, Malam Aliyu Diko, the celebrant, and my boss, the Managing Director and the Chief Executive Officer of the Bank of Industry, Mr. Olukayode Pitan, the Board of Fellows of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, the executive directors of the Bank of Industry here present, my senior colleagues, and fellow colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing here in my personal capacity as a bona fide and proud staff of the Bank of Industry today to celebrate with my boss and my MD on this very special and noteworthy event. I just happened to be asked to read my husband's goodwill message. That's not the reason, the main reason I'm here. We were trying to connect him via the Zoom link, but he was actually airborne to Abuja for some national assignment and couldn't be here, although he would have loved to be here. So he sends his greetings to my MD, and I'd like to read that. But before then, you might be wondering what's the connection between the governor of Edo State and the MD of the Bank of Industry. It's not because his wife is working in the bank, but they knew each other long before both of them knew me. They were fellow colleagues in the University of Ibadan many decades ago, and also have been long-standing friends for decades. So I'll just read his message. I heartily celebrate with you on the conferment of an honorary fellowship on you in recognition of your laudable achievements in promoting commerce and industry by the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. The new feather on your cap is a testament to your illustrious contribution to Nigeria's industrial sector, which has benefited from your talent and experience. I am confident that this recognition will motivate you to work more assiduously to support Nigeria's drive for industrialization and engender sustainable development. Congratulations once again. My dear brother, he had started with in the letter, and he signs Gobin Nogegase Obaseki. Congratulations again, MD, and happy birthday.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you indeed. Before we take the next goodwill message, I'd like to recognize the MD CEO of FCMB, Mrs. Yemisi Edun, FCS. Please, let's give her a round of applause. Oh, please, wherever you are, please stand up. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, on your face, I saw the exact expression I was looking forward to. Please give her a round of applause. We are that updated. Yeah, please give her a round of applause. Congratulations. And we also have one of the past presidents of the Institute. Please give a round of applause for Mr. Ario Olusekun. Thank you very much. And now we are going to take the next goodwill message, which would be from the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigeria Exchange Limited. Please welcome Mr. Temi Popola, CFA.
The Honorable Minister for Trade and Investment, and the former Minister for Trade and Investment, Mr. Okenelama, the President of CIS, the Chairman of the Bank of Industry, the Managing Director of Bank of Industry, Mr. Kayode Pitan, Fellows of CIS, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I crave your indulgence to stand on existing protocol. It gives me great pleasure to be here. And someone famously said that the evening service is not the time for long speeches. So I would keep my remarks very brief. Indeed, I can stand here and speak about a lot of the illustrious things that have been said, particularly when one traces back on your career. And I think that those speak for themselves and merit this investiture. But there are two things that stand out that I would just like to highlight quickly. One is what I call the amount of innovation that you have brought to the capital markets. I think that indeed, if one tries to trace back the history of M&As in our markets, the story can't be written without your name. And so we thank you very much for that. And the second thing, sir, is a little bit more salient, is what I call the amount of inspiration that you offer to what I call the next generation. When some of us look up, we see people like you for not just the conduct with which you have discharged your professional responsibilities, but also for the many things that distinguish both your personal and other areas of your life. So I just want to join everybody in congratulating you again tonight for a very well-deserved honor, and to say that, as has been said before, the exchange, the entire capital market ecosystem certainly looks forward to more opportunities to work with BOI to deepen our markets and to create shared prosperity for our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for that goodwill message. Now we are going to take the former Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment to deliver his goodwill message. Please welcome Mr. Okechukwu Enelamo. Please give him a round of applause. Give me a round of applause. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, who I think has left, the distinguished members and fellows, the distinguished fellows and members of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, both emeritus, including my friend Tola Mobolori, and all the other distinguished members and fellows, I just want to say thank you for inviting us to this event. And now turning to the investee and the reason why we're here. And I will join others in saying Pastor Kayode Pitan and his wife, even though she's a doctor, I will also call her Pastor Femi Pitan. First, happy birthday. When I saw the date, I know Kayode enough to know that his birthday is July 13th. So when I saw the date of the event, I knew already it was a day of double honor. And we just want to thank God for the double honor. You know, like has been said, tonight is not a time for long speeches. But I think I can say I've had the privilege and honor of working with, Pastor Kayode Pitan in the private sector, in the public sector, and importantly in the church. And when I was reflecting, when I was told to say something, I think it's just important to point out his integrity. And I don't use integrity just as a word. I've observed him up close and personal, in spiritual, that's in the church, in the private sector. I worked with him in the private sector, and I also had the benefit of working in the public sector. And Kayode has integrity, and I mean integrity in terms of oneness. The Kayode you meet in church is the Kayode you meet at work, and it's the Kayode you meet in the public service as well. And I think that's not something that is that easy to do in Nigeria. The other thing that is actually quite remarkable, and the word industry, it's actually an English word, it's not just industry. Kayode is actually industrious. He's a man of industry. He's very resourceful, he's very energetic, and, again, in all these spaces where I've seen him exhibit, extraordinary industry, and permit me to lean on what I know from our faith. It's just the grace of God. I think it takes the grace of God for a man to work as hard as he does and remain as cheerful as he is. And as, nothing really rattles him. And I'm sure he's seen a lot, if not in the private sector, certainly in the public sector. But, he's managed to show that, he continues to be the same. When he was going around and saying hello to people, my wife whispered to me that Kayode can be so gracious. And those were her words, gracious. And honestly, he's gracious, as you can see from the goodwill that is in this place. And part of that being gracious is also his humility. So again, I join everybody in congratulating you. And I know that it's onward and forwards, and onward and upwards. But let me just say a word on the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers as well. I also want to celebrate the Institute and their dogged, relentless commitment to, the capital markets and to trying to see. I remember during my stint in government having a meeting with them, and and that passion remains. Even in the short time, Tola Mobolori said he wasn't going to say anything, but he couldn't help talking about this need to, drive industry to create employment. I want to encourage you to keep going. It's a marathon, it's not a dash. And I honestly believe that we will eventually have cause to rejoice. So don't give up, don't give in, keep the flag flying. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A man of excellence and industry. And even today, while we are celebrating you, your industry was still shining forth. I mean, is there any table that Mr. Olukayode Pitan has not visited today? If there's any table that he has not visited, it is only that table that should not give him a round of applause. If there's any table that he has not visited, believe me, by all standard, if he has not visited your table this evening by himself, then do not give him a round of applause. But if he has, appreciate his industry. Appreciate his industry. Thank you very much. So, we have gone all around, and we will bring an end to the goodwill messages and that will be coming from his current constituency, and that will be from the board of directors of the Bank of Industry. And to give the goodwill message will be the chairman, board of directors, Bank of Industry, Malam Aliyu A. Diko. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, in absentia, who was here throughout the proceedings, our former Minister, Mr. Onelema, and his amiable wife, I requested the MC for me to say a word or two, because I believe this is an honor not just to the MD, Mr. Olukayode Pitan, but it is an honor indeed to the Bank of Industry. So I felt it is absolutely necessary for me to say a word or two on behalf of the board, the management, and the entire staff of the Bank of Industry. I do believe the Bank of Industry and the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers have common objective. We have common goals. Our goal is to serve as pillars for the development of the Nigerian economy. For the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, there won't be a capital market without stockbrokers, because they make the market. And there won't be a stock exchange without chartered stockbrokers, because they are the players, they make the market. For the Bank of Industry, in our own way, we are also a pillar for the growth and development of the Nigerian economy. And within that pillar, we have a structure which starts from the Supervising Ministry, Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment, where we have been having really very able and supportive leaders, starting from when we joined, Mr. Onelema, who really gave us great support to lay the foundation into what we have really achieved today. And this foundation was continuously built on by the current Minister of Industry. I will say a few words about Kayode, even though corporate governance principles will not allow me to say much. But let me say a word or two about Kayode. During his 6 years birthday anniversary, we gave him a dinner. During the dinner, I requested the board members and the management to describe Kayode in one word. And 3/4 of the response came back to say humility. Humility, 3/4. So apart from humility, I will add 2 things or 2 words. In Kayode's dictionary, the word impossible does not exist. Most of the time, he would come to me and say, Chairman, I would like to pursue this. I say, Kayode, are you sure this can be done? He say, I will try, and he will do it. So the word impossible does not exist in Kayode's dictionary. In entrepreneurial saying, there is a word which says the future is for those who see opportunities before they become obvious. Kayode is in that group. He sees opportunities before they become obvious. And that is why we are where we are today. And I believe we will continue to build on that. So the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, we thank you very much for this honor. It is an honor done to the Bank of Industry, and we are really very proud of our MD, and we will continue to encourage him to do more. For Kayode and Mrs. Kayode Pitan, Dr. Mrs. Kayode Pitan, congratulations, and I say well done to both of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And again, another round of applause for a man who sees opportunities before they become obvious. And that is Mr. Olukayode Pitan. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard a lot. Testimonies, affirmations, reports of excellence. Right now, we are going to listen to the response from the man at the center of this gathering, the celebrant, and the investee of today's ceremony. Please welcome Mr. Olukayode Pitan. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes up to give us his response. Oh, please, let's keep clapping for him. Let's support his industry until he picks up the microphone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. And thank you for being here. And I also thank those who are online. I'm sure there are many of them, family members and colleagues. I've heard severally tonight that it's not a night of making long speeches. So I also will not make a long speech. I want to stand on existing protocols so I can save some time, at the same time to avoid offending some people. Because in such a place like this, you know, to say this thing properly, you have to have a degree in protocol. So I want to thank you all so much for the kind words and for this great honor bestowed upon me today as a fellow of the highly esteemed Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. I am truly, truly humbled to be welcomed into such a well-respected fold of doyens of the capital market, inspirational leaders and accomplished colleagues. Let me start by thanking the Almighty God, without whom none of us would be here today. I give him all the praise, honor, and glory. I want to express my sincere and humble thanks to the Board of Fellows, the Governing Council, and the leadership of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. This fellowship recognition holds so much meaning to me, given the critical role the institution plays in creating, maintaining, and extending high standards in the stockbroking profession, and by extension, supporting development of the capital market in Nigeria. In my current capacity as the MD of Bank of Industry, as well as my past experiences in other segments of Nigeria's financial services sector, I have had the opportunity of appreciating the level of commitment and impact of the Institute in maintaining market integrity, as well as developing manpower to achieve continuous growth and competitiveness of the market. In the same vein, BOI has been promoting and supporting industrialization, entrepreneurship, youth empowerment, and job creation in Nigeria for the past 60 years. Over the last 3 years, we have raised successfully about $3 billion in international capital financial markets in an effort to continuously strengthen our ability to keep bridging the financing gap in Nigeria's rail sector. We have also partnered with the federal government, state governments, agencies, and various multilateral agencies in raising and managing funds aimed at supporting entrepreneurship in the country. Between 2015 and now, we have successfully disbursed over ₦1 trillion to industries in various sectors of the economy. In spite of the great things we have been able to achieve, there is still much more to be accomplished. A lot more participation and resources are required to effectively reach a significant portion of the over 40 million micro, small, and medium enterprises operating in Nigeria, not to talk of the large enterprises. BOI has recognized the importance and urgent need for specialized investment banking and is in the process of setting up a corporate finance division to focus on capital market and investment banking related activities. BOI will encourage companies it has funded over the years to consider listing on the exchange via a special window, possibly to be created by all stakeholders, and may offer concessionary rates to encourage them to list on the exchange. We will continue to explore ways to deepen the collaboration between the Bank of Industry, Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, National Association of Security Dealers, Nigerian Exchange Group, Nigerian Exchange Limited, Securities Exchange Commission, etc., to capture the huge opportunities in the Nigerian landscape. Finally, we will seek government funding to enable us to make equity investments in companies through BOI with clearly defined criteria and modalities to guide the appraisal and selection process. This will provide patient capital to allow companies to take off, stabilize, and to grow the economy. Now, before I close, I need to say a lot of thank yous. You know, when a man is being recognized like this, you assume that the man did all the work by himself. There is no way a man could do everything that we have said Mr. Pitan was doing tonight. First of all, my appreciation to the President, President Muhammad Buhari, for the appointment to serve. Should not take it lightly. My appreciation to the Vice President, President Emio Shibajo, for his support of the bank and his leadership in promoting SMEs in Nigeria. My appreciation to the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Otumba Richard Adini Yadebayo, who was with us, who had left, and the Honorable Minister of State for the same ministry, Ambassador Miriam Katagun. Many of us who are here have not worked in government. For you to survive the type of job that I do, you need to have technical skills and political support. Without the political support, most of the things that we do will never be possible. So I thank them most sincerely. I want to thank the former Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, who is here with his wife, Dr. Okechukwu Enelama. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Some of the things that we enjoy today, were started while he was the minister in charge, overseeing Bank of Industry. I want to thank my friend and governor, His Excellency, Governor of Edo State, Governor Baseki. Thank you very much. Ably represented by the First Lady of Edo State. I want to thank, in particular, the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. When you hear BOI raises a lot of money, and we're talking of billions of dollars, we've had a lot of support from Central Bank of Nigeria. Otherwise it would have not been possible. So in absentia, I want to thank the CBN Governor and the Committee of Governors of Central Bank of Nigeria. I want to thank our shareholders. We have two major shareholders. Central Bank of Nigeria, I've already thanked the Governor and the Committee of Governors. We need to also thank the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Madam Zainab Ahmed, who is a major shareholder of BOI through Murphy. They've also been very, very supportive of what we have been doing. Of course, you cannot but thank the Board of Directors of BOI, ably represented and tonight by the Chairman, Malam Aliyu Diko. If you have an organization where the management and the board don't see eye to eye, there cannot be any progress. I'm always very proud of my Board of Directors. I tell people that if you take this board and put them in any private company in Nigeria, the company will thrive. We have a very good board. To my Board of Directors, thank you very much. There are a lot of special friends that came tonight. I tried as much as possible to keep the crowd there, not to be even as many as we have. I have Alhaji Buhari. He came all the way from Kano. Alhaji, thank you very much. The chairman of Flour Mills, John Comantaros, I tried to prevent him from coming. He refused. He showed up. Thank you very much. Mr. Thomas Etu, chairman of many companies, especially Lighthouse Capital Limited, thank you for coming. There are so many people here from the church community who are here, special guests, MDs of various places, either here or they are listening. I need to thank, in particular, my former boss, Mr. Dotun Sulaiman. He was supposed to travel to the US for the daughter's graduation. But because of this, he's still here just to deliver the paper tonight. So he has made so many other efforts. So thank you very much, my boss from Arthur Anderson. Your boss is always your boss. So thank you very much. And of course, there are so many other people here. That was why I said I didn't want to go through protocol. That if I were to thank you all, my family here, thank you for coming. Many of them are here. Some of them are watching. God bless you all. Friends of many years, At times like this, your old friends are better, because they have been with you, So I wanted a small ceremony. And finally, I cannot but thank my wife, Dr. Olukayode Caroline Pitan, the love of my life. So for all and then the members, the management staff of BOI who are here, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. The rank and file of BOI, those that put this together, thank you. God bless you all. And for all those who are here, those who are listening, and those who had made this possible one way or the other, thank you all. Thank you all. God bless you, and have a good evening. You want another photograph with the president and chairman of council? Okay, Mrs. Pitan, they want you here also. And to my birthday mate also. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you. Congratulations to the investee and the celebrant. Thank you, everyone, for how you have contributed, to a wonderful evening so far. At this point, we're going to do something that is quite collective. It is quite collective. It is also cultural to the Institute whenever we are gathered like this and for this cause. And to coordinate that, before I call the person that will coordinate it, I would like to please encourage every one of us. It is not to test our choral skills. It is not to test our ability of music. Just do it however it comes. It is only to establish the unity that is present in the operations and administration of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. It is time to take the family song, and to lead us in doing that would be Mr. Oladipo Aino, FCS, a past president of the Institute. Please give him a round of applause. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The day had been well spent. A lot of things have been said about our brand new honorary fellow. So I will not take too much of your time. Shall we please rise while he's seated? We are celebrating a birthday and we are celebrating a fellowship. Oga, where is Madam? I just want it to be a double entry transaction. Thank you, Madam. We shall sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow. After the song, we do 3 hearty cheers. After the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. For he is a jolly good fellow. For he is a jolly good fellow. For he is a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. And so say all of us. And so say all of us. For he is a jolly good fellow. For he is a jolly good fellow. For he is a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. We're going to do 3 hearty cheers. 1 to the celebrant, 2 to the capital market, and 3 to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Hip, hip, hip. I think we can do better than that. Hip, hip, hip. Now we can take this up. Hip, hip, hip.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Before we bring this to a close, it is my pleasure to bring up on behalf of the Institute to welcome the second Vice President. The second Vice President, Mr. Olukayode Pitan, FCS. He's here already, so please give him a round of applause.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I want to stand on the existing protocol, because if I want to observe the protocol, we won't leave this place. But before we go, let me quickly invite you to our national workshop that is taking place in August 19 in Abuja. What do we do in our national workshop? That is where we dissect Nigerian economy using models from developed and developing economy. We profile solutions and we submit the solution to the government. People from the government and capital of industry are expected. If you are not invited, certainly we will send invitation to you. On this note, I want to thank you for coming. God bless you. Safe trip back to your destination. And when we meet in Abuja in August 19, we shall smile. Bye-bye. God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. A wonderful evening indeed it has been. Please, we have a final photo up, please. I would like to quickly ask the people in the following groups to just come off stage and have a picture with the investee. And first off, investee with friends. Investee with his friends. A lot of people here tonight have had pictures with investee already, but please, if you are on table 7 and 8, table 7 and 8, please come up on stage. The investee and celebrant will be on hand to take a picture with you. Investees will be taking a picture with the people on table 7 and 8. Table 7 and 8. DJ, let us have some music. Let us have some music. BJ Sax. DJ, let's have some music. Let's have some music. All right. BJ Sax will come take over before you continue for the rest of the evening. But please, table 7 and 8. 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 Table 7 and 8, please. Oh, the investee is now here, getting ready for his friends on table 7 and 8. Table 7 and 8. Table 7 and 8, please. Let's do this real quick so we can enjoy our networking before we take our leave. Table 7 and 8. Table 7 and 8. All right, please, photographers, please, I'd like you to take the needed positions for you to have this picture of the investee with his friends. Please, table 7 and 8. And after table 7 and 8, I'd like people on, our guests that are on tables 9 and 11. Tables 9 and 11. Get ready. Tables 9 and 11. Tables 9 and 11. I think we have too much people on one side. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'll just like the both of you to move this way. Yeah, I mean, instead of having them, yeah, then you can come. No, just come this way. Yeah, I think this is fair enough. This is fair enough. This is... Oh, now that means she can move this way. You can still have it. All right. Okay. Tables 7 and 8. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wonderful friends that you all are for being a part of today. Despite the celebrants wanting to keep it as minimal as possible, you made the cut. Yep, that's the way it is. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you are on tables 9 and 11, if you are on tables 9 and 11, if you are on tables 9 and 11, tables 9 and 11, tables 9 and 11, tables 9 and 11, please come up. Come on up, tables 9 and 11, tables 9 and 11, tables 9